So, hello, this is your course instructor, Pushwan Patnani. Let us start off with the session where we were discussing, we'll continue from that point onwards. We were talking about some few concepts in current electricity, right? Oh, sorry. Yes, we understood few concepts in current electricity and we have done a lot of it. Let us talk to the students who has been attending the session. Let's talk to him and then we'll accordingly proceed ahead, right? So we'll continue with the chapter current electricity and today we'll be moving to the further chapters once we finish the revision of the present chapter, right? So Atul, can you just quickly brief us with whatever we have read in the previous session in the chapter current electricity? Uh, Topics to be very precise. Which topics have we considered, right? Yes, Atul, go ahead.
So first we studied about current, sir. Then we saw current density, then drift velocity,
Just a second, just give me a minute.
then
Yeah, just a minute. We are studying the chapter current electricity, and it is with the intention of students becoming well versed with the concepts by revision of it for JEE and NEET 2020, right? Yes, Atul, go ahead. Yeah. So,
so then after, yes sir.
what else?
So we saw current density, then drift velocity,
Current density J. We also understood about drift velocity VD, correct?
then mobility,
We understood what is mobility. Tell me the formula. Mobility is given by drift
uh,
velocity
VD by E.
per unit. Correct. What next, Atul?
Then we studied about Ohm's law,
Ohm's law. Very good. What next?
then resistivity, conductivity,
Ohm's law. Resistivity, conductivity. Correct.
then resistors in series and parallel combinations.
Yes, we saw some examples of resistors in series and resistors in parallel. So in series, voltage gets distributed, right? Current remains same. In series, voltage gets
Same.
distributed, whereas in parallel, what happens, Atul? Parallel, what is distributed?
Current gets current.
Absolutely correct. Current gets distributed, and we have voltage remaining same. Absolutely correct. Very good. What next?
So then we saw the temperature dependence of resistance.
We
The
saw that.
formula is R
Yes.
naught into 1 plus alpha.
Very good. So we saw that the temperature is dependent on, resistance is dependent upon temperature with this formula.
Yes.
Correct. Where this is coefficient of resistance.
Mm.
Correct. What next, Atul?
Then we saw cells, uh, cells in parallel and series.
Yes, we saw cells in parallel and cells in series. Absolutely correct. We also read one more concept. Try recalling of the Kirchhoff's law, right?
Kirchhoff's law, yes, sir.
Yes, we saw that how whenever we are moving in a circuit in the direction of current, voltage decreases, whereas when we go against the direction of current, voltage increases, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'll write this point again very clearly. On this side, we understood that whenever in a circuit, current is flowing, let's say, from left to right, and if we are going in the direction of current, then voltage decreases. If we go in the opposite direction of current, then voltage increases, right? And in accordance with this, what works is Kirchhoff's law. There are two laws, right? KVL and KCL, Kirchhoff's current rule and Kirchhoff's voltage rule, KVL and KCL, right? I hope you're aware with this fact, right? That current rule is Kirchhoff's current rule that I is equal to I1 plus I2, that the net current at net current coming in into a junction is equal to the net current going out of the junction. I hope you know that this is an application. KCL is an application of KCL is an application of law of conservation of charges. Law of conservation of charges. I hope you're aware with that, aware with this, right? Law of conservation of charges, correct? And what about KVL? KVL, which says that the net change of potential across a circuit is zero. Do you know which law works here? The principal law working here is law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of energy. Please keep this in mind, Atul. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Anything else that we read? Just go through everything once again. Let me know.
Yes, sir. We also saw power.
We also saw power.
Power.
We also saw the concept of power in two cases. When the current is constant, then P is equal to I square R. In fact, power is always I square R. But then we saw that you can write this first of all in three cases. P is equal to I square R. Then P is equal to V square upon R. And P is also equal to VI. We saw three formulas. Then in the second case, when we are talking about heat generated, right? Heat generated when the current is varying with time. When the current is varying with time, when I is variable or a function in time, in that case, we saw that heat generated is equal to I square R dt, correct? Integral. I square R dt integral. Am I right, Atul?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, what next? Apart from all of this, anything else that we have read, Atul?
No,
Done?
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
right, right, right. So now let us proceed ahead of this, okay? So there are a few more concepts in this chapter, right? Apart from the cell grouping and the Kirchhoff's law, very simple but yet useful. Let's one by one see them. So there is this concept called as quite a lot talked about with respect to the board examinations, concept of Wheatstone bridge, concept of Wheatstone bridge, right? So Atul, do we know what's Wheatstone bridge? Yes, tell me.
Uh, so, uh,
Wheatstone bridge. I think this is the 14th point.
hmm,
So,
so in
yeah,
Stonebridge, two resistors are in series and two are in parallel.
yes, yes. Have a look. Have a
Like,
look. Great. Yes. So you're on the right key. What happens is, let's say we have two resistors, right? Let's take them this way, and two resistors this in this pattern, and we have a resistor in between. Let's say over here. We also have a galvanometer here. Galvanometer is a device which checks or talks about the flow of current. If there is a flow of current, it will show a detection or a deflection, basically, galvanometer, right? So let's say the resistances are R1, R2, R3, R4. Okay. So the point is, if R1 is to R3 is equal to R2 is to R4, in that scenario, the amount of current which should be flowing in this middle branch will become equal to 0. That is, no current is going to flow from this middle branch provided the circuit resistances are in this ratio, right? Okay. Now, after understanding this, Let's say I'm giving you a question, Atul. Quickly, have a look and try solving. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're being told that in a Wheatstone bridge, you're being told that in a Wheatstone bridge given in the figure, this is the figure given to you, right? And here there is a galvanometer installed and it is showing some reading. It is showing some reading. You have resistances P, this is P, let's say, right? 2 ohms. Then you have a resistance Q, which is 3 ohm. Then you have a resistance R, which is 8 ohm. Then you have a resistance, just a minute. Let's take this as 6 ohm and this as 8 ohm. Okay, right. Or we can twist this a little. Yeah. Now, the question is telling me what must be the shunt resistance across S. So this is suppose P, this is Q, right? This is R, and this is S. What should be the shunt resistance across S so that shunt resistance means something in parallel. Shunt resistance across S, right? Across S so that the balance is obtained. Yes. Yes, Atul, go ahead.
So the shunt resistance is parallel to the 8 ohm resistance. So first we will find the resistance of the combination 8 ohm and the shunt resistance. Uh,
So here, have a look, Atul. This is how the yellow one. Can you see the yellow resistance which I've drawn?
yes, sir.
Let's say that is R naught. Okay, that is the new resistance that I'm fixing. That's the new resistance which I'm fixing as a shunt. This is called a shunt. Shunt means something which is connected in parallel, right? So this is the new resistance which I've connected across the S resistor, that is 8 ohm resistor. Across the 8 ohm resistor I am putting a shunt. We need to find out what should the value of shunt be so that there is a balance obtained, right? So for balance to obtain, what is the net scenario needed, Atul? What is the net condition needed for the balance?
R1 by R3 equals to R2 by R4.
Absolutely.
P by S equals to Q by R.
Yes. So whatever will be the net result of R and R naught, let's say that is S, right? So the condition that we are looking for is R, or say P by S is equal to Q by R, correct? If these are representing the respective resistances. Am I correct, Atul? Right? Okay. What is Q by R looking like? 3 is to 6 is looking like 1 is to 2. Correct? Correct? So
Yes, sir.
we want that the ratio of P is to S should be equal to 1 is to 2. Am I correct, Atul? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do that. So do it in your copy, Atul. Meanwhile, I'm doing it here. So what I am doing is, I understood from the solution done until now that I need to bring or need to make sure that P is to S becomes equal to Q is to R. The value of Q and R resistors are known, that is 3 is to 6. So I want that P is to S should be equal to 3 is to 6 or 1 is to 2. Therefore, the value of P, I'll put the respective values. Value of P is 2. Value of S, we don't know. Therefore, the value of S should become equal to 4. Now, the net value of S will be because of the two resistors put in parallel, which two? 8 and R0. R0 is the shunt that we are putting. So, we'll have the net resistance S is R0 into 8 upon R0 plus 8, because R0 and 8 are in parallel. So, we are getting this as the answer, right? Let's try to go ahead of this. So you get, after this, R0 is equal to 1 by 2, right? Whole by R0 plus 8. Am I correct? Okay, let me check. This is 4, this is 2, right? Okay, right. After this, you will get 2R0 is equal to R0 plus 8. Therefore, we will get R0 is equal to 8 ohms. Okay, so this is the condition that we are getting, that the shunt resistance which we are putting across the given resistor, that is 8 ohm resistor, given 8 ohm resistor should have another shunt resistance, how much? 8, in order to make sure that the Wheatstone bridge is in working in balance. The Wheatstone bridge is working in balance. That means now there will be no current passing through the center, and therefore it will show a balance condition, right? So this is 3 and here is 6, right? Atul, tell me, is the concept clear,
Yes, sir.
right? Sure? Atul, sure? Are you sure with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Atul, I'm giving another additional question to it. Let's say 20 amperes current is coming in. 20 amperes current is coming, right? You need to tell me what is the current present in the respective branches. I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, I6. Yes, Atul, get going. You need to tell me all the currents. Find the current values. Find the current values in respective branches. Yes. Yes, Atul, tell me.
So I think we will apply Kirchhoff's rule, sir.
That's not, is it required? Really? Think another way. Think in another way. First of all, tell me, is there any current in the central branch? This one.
No, no,
No.
sir.
So first thing we know is I5 is 0. That means there is no distribution
Zero.
of current taking place at this point. Correct? This branch is not existing altogether. That means all the current over here is the same value of current over here. Correct? So I
Yes,
get
sir.
I1 is equal to I2. Am I correct? Am I clear, Atul? Right? Are we going in the right direction? Okay.
Yes, sir.
What next? Can we see that? Can we see that here the current is distributing into three parts. Into three parts. One is going here, right? And the other two parts into 8 ohm and 8 ohm respectively. Can we see that, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us draw this more clearly. Okay, let's do this on the next page. So we have okay. Why is Kirchhoff law not required? I'm telling you that. Okay. Yeah. Suppose this is the scenario. Okay. How much was the original current coming? 20 amperes, right? What was this?
Yeah.
Upper one was 2,
I1. Okay, okay.
right?
Resistance.
And here the resistance here is 4. Net is 4, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how
No,
about,
8,
yes, how about the currents? How about the resistors in the other branch 3 and 6?
3 and 6.
Right? Now I want to find out what is the current in the upper branch and what is the current in the lower branch. This looks quite a simplified circuit, right, Atul?
Sir, that is not 4 ohms. That should be 8 ohms.
See, 8 and 8. There are two of them, right? And they are in parallel. So two eight
You.
resistors in parallel will become 4.
Uh,
Is it clear now, Atul?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have two resistors. Now just have a look. The above branch, what is the net resistance here? 5, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about the resistance in the bottom branch? It's 10, right?
10.
And here we have 20 amperes coming. Have you read a formula, Atul, by which we can find out I1 and I2 in parallel branches?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Uh,
Quickly, tell me.
for I1, it should be I2 by I1 plus I2 into I.
R1. R1
Yes,
upon R1 plus R2, right? Into
yes,
I.
sir.
Right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Yes,
Because try recalling. Go from the basics. Don't rote learn formulas. Go into the basics. We have V is equal to IR. For parallel, what is constant? V, right? V is constant. So if V is constant, it means I is inversely proportional to R. I is inversely proportional to R. So I have I1 and I2 will be respectively given as I1 will be equal to R2 times R2 upon R1 plus R2 times of I. And similarly, I2 will be equal to R1 upon R1 plus R2 times of I. Right, Atul?
yes, sir.
Concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what next? Once we have written this, once we have written this, just substitute and tell me the answers. You have I1 is equal to 10
10
by
by
10 plus
15
5,
into
that is 15, right? Absolutely correct. Times of I is 20, right? What
20.
about I2? It is equal to 5 by 15,
5 by 15 into 20.
20. Yes. So you have this will become 5 threes are, right? And 5 twos are, which brings me 40 by 3 amperes, right? Cool. What about this, Atul? I2 is equal to 20 by 3,
3,
right?
yes, sir.
Amperes.
6,
Easy, Atul,
20 by 6.
right?
Yes,
Easy.
sir. Yes.
Sure. Now, will you be able
Yes,
to
sir.
solve such questions, Atul, if they come next to
Sir.
you? Okay. Right. All right. Great. Great. So, let's now transit to the next part, next concept, next amount of questions. Let's go. Okay. So, the next part that we are reading is we are seeing a very similar concept which is called as meter bridge. Right? We are seeing a concept called as meter bridge. So here we go. right? Let us see that. So you have meter bridge is the next concept. How does a meter bridge work? It is also a very similar thing to potentiometer. So basically, meter bridge is a special case of potentiometer. Meter bridge is a special case of potentiometer. Have a look. You have, let's say these are wooden joints, okay? And let's say here we have resistance R. We have, so here we have one more resistance. In fact, these are made up of metal, right? These are made up of metal, right? We are making sure that here there is a resistance wire. There is a resistance wire, okay? Then from this point, so these are basically metal bars or metal pieces, okay? Which are of negligible resistance. These are offering no resistance to the flow of current. That is the assumption. And here in the center, we have this, just a minute, I'll draw perhaps a better, yeah, right? Okay. So let's say these are different metal bars, right? And from here, we have a galvanometer, right? Which we can slide over this entire wire, right? This galvanometer's wire can slide over this entire wire. Now this is called a resistance wire, okay? This is called a resistance wire, and generally the length of this resistance wire is equal to 100 centimeters. Is equal to 100 centimeters. This is a wire of uniform cross section area. This wire has a uniform area. That means A is a constant for this wire. Atul, today morning you had told me about a formula that you know between resistance and area. Which is that formula, Atul?
R equals to rho L by A.
R is equal to rho L by A. What does this mean, Atul? That if A is constant, rho is constant, then what can I say? R is proportional to L, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does this mean? That R1 by R2 is equal to L1 by L2. Can we write that, Atul? Right? Okay. On that same principle, this meter bridge is working. On that same principle, this meter bridge is working. Suppose we have resistances over here as Q and S, right? So does it not become a similar setting as the Wheatstone bridge which we had read earlier? See here, we had two resistors in the top, right? And two resistors in the bottom being connected by a central galvanometer. Same thing. Have a look here. Two resistors in the top, two resistors in the bottom. These sections of wire, these sections of wire, this one and this one. These two sections are serving as two different resistances, right? When there is a central galvanometer connection, this one, right, Atul? Are we able to compare this with the Wheatstone bridge that we have already read? Are we able to? Just have a look. I'll draw it for your reference. We have this one is Q, this is S, this is R1, this is R2. Are we able to connect this, Atul, to the previous concept that we have read?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. Have a look. Now, what have we just read? By the galvanometer principle, by the Wheatstone bridge principle. Can you apply the principle here on this circuit and tell me? Yes, Q by R1
Q by R equals to
equal
S by
to
R2.
S by R2, right? Absolutely correct. Very good, Atul. Now, Atul, tell me, if I write this expression, can I write this one as Q by S is equal to R1 by R2? Can I write it this way?
Yes, sir.
But we know that R1 by R2 is already equal to
L1 by L2.
hmm. So we will have Q by S is equal to L1 by L2, right? We'll have Q by S is equal to L1 by L2, right, Atul? Clear
Yes.
on this?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay. So, ready for the question?
Yes, yes, sir. Just a minute.
Yes.
I need to write.
Yeah. Go ahead. Right.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Okay. Now, let us have a look at certain questions, and meanwhile, while reading these questions, we'll also see some other concepts, right? As we are reading one by one, we'll see them. Okay, Atul. So you have your next question, okay, given in this pattern. Let me write it here. Okay, right. So the question is from NEET 2016. The question says that there is a point called A where the potential is VA. We start from here, give you one resistance, then a battery, then one more resistance, and then a point called VB. You are told that this one has a resistance of 2 ohm, this one has a resistance of 1 ohm. Here you have a potential difference being given by the battery of 3 volts. This is positive while this is the negative terminal of the battery. You're also told that there is a current flowing in this circuit which is 2 amperes. You are supposed to find out, Atul, you're supposed to find out what is the potential difference between A and B. In fact, all the viewers watching this video have to find out the potential difference between A and B. That is VA minus VB. Yes, Atul. Start off. Go ahead.
So we can consider the sign convention from A to B as positive. Uh,
See,
no,
do
sir,
it
negative
your
one,
way.
sir.
Do it your way. Take a minute, think about it, and then answer. Yes. Meanwhile, you can do it in your copy. No worries. We'll wait.
So is the answer
I'll give you the options. Options are given as minus 3 volts or plus 3 volts or plus 9 volts or plus 6 volts. Yes. Let's see.
C
Let's
option.
first see the approach. Yeah. Your answer is
Okay, yes. C.
C. Okay. Your answer is C. That is 9 volts. Okay. We'll see that. We'll see that. No worries. Okay. Atul, let's start. So let's begin from point A, right? So VA, right? What should we do for the 2 ohm resistor? Tell me, minus or plus?
Minus.
Minus, because we are moving in the direction of current. Very good.
In the direction of the
Yes,
potential
yes,
decrease.
very good. So potential difference decreases, right? So you'll have 2 into 2, right? Then we are going across the cell from positive to negative. So the potential should
Okay.
decrease, right?
We,
That is
yes, sir.
minus 3 volts, right? Okay. What about the resistor 1 ohm? 1 ohm resistor, yes,
The potential should decrease, so 2 into 1.
by 2 into 1. Very good. So
1.
minus 2 into 1 giving you potential difference at B, and therefore VA minus VB becomes equals to 4 plus 3 plus 2, that is equal to 9 volts. So your answer becomes C. Very good. Clear? Concept is clear. Easy question, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Ready for the next one?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right. So you have next question telling you, okay, we'll take this one from a past year J scenario. So here is your question. Okay. See here, this is a little tricky. You might feel the question is little tricky, but then you'll be able to do it. I know. So here is the question, Atul. I'll write it for you. The question says that there are two electric bulbs which are marked 25 watt and 220 watts, 220 volts, right? And 100 watt, 220 volts. What does this marking mean, Atul? Marking means that whenever a bulb is given a particular marking in terms of watt and volts, it means that whenever it is connected across a 220 volt supply, whenever it is connected across a 220 volt supply, it is giving a power of 25 watts. It is giving a power of 25 watts when the voltage is 220 volts. This is the meaning of saying that a bulb is marked a given reading, right? Are you clear, Atul? What does this mean? The
Yes,
marking
sir.
of a bulb. Okay. So you're given two bulbs with the markings as 1 and 2. They are connected in series. Now they are connected in series this way. Let's say this is bulb number 1 and here is the bulb number 2, right? And that is to a 440 volts supply, a 440 volt supply. You need to find out which of the two bulbs fuses, which of the two fuses. Okay. So Atul, I'll tell you what should be the concept, or do you want to guess by your own or check by your own first?
So I will try first, sir.
Okay. Go ahead. Try this out. Don't be in a hurry to try. Relax, calm down, and try. Yes, go ahead. This is a question from AIEEE 2012. Yes, Atul, go ahead.
The current is not given.
Nothing is given apart from the data which I've already given you.
Okay.
Okay, right. See, the point is, Atul, when does a bulb fuse? A bulb will fuse when the current passing through it will be above the maximum value of current which can pass through it. I will repeat, a bulb will fuse when the current passing through it will become higher than the value of the maximum current that can pass through it. Are we clear, Atul? When I passing, when I passing becomes greater than the I maximum that can pass, in that case, the bulb will fuse. This is what you should know. And now think, yes, Atul. What is the first step that you can take, Atul? By the use of power and voltage, what can you find out? R value, right? Resistance value. How? You know the formula. Power is equal to V square by R, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
apply that and tell me what are the values of resistors coming for you. R1 is equal to, I think this will be equal to V1 square by P1 square, right? Or V1 square by P1, pardon me. So V1 square is equal to 220 square whole by 25, right? Similarly, R2 will be V2 square whole by P2. Now V2 is same as V1 and equal to 220 whole square upon power, that is 100. This will give you 220 into 220 whole by 25. Similarly, here you will have 220 into 220 whole by 100. Right, Atul? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yes. What next?
So now we can find the net current through the whole circuit.
Either you can go with that approach, which I've told, or there is one more logical approach, which I'll tell you. Right? First find out what's the value of R1 and R2. Yes, go ahead. This is a longer way. I'll also tell you a shorter way of doing it. Yes, go ahead.
So R1 is 1936.
Okay. So we have R1 is equal to, or let us first write it this in this pattern. This is 100, right? So 25 ones are 25 fours are. So we have 22 square into 4, right? And R2 is equal to 22 square. Okay. Now we can clearly see that R1 is 4 times R2, 4 times of R2, right? We can see that. One thing is clear from this, right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, yes. So we have in this circuit, we can see that,
So,
yeah. Tell me.
uh, so I think the bulb should be parallel, sir, because the voltages are same.
See here, Atul, whenever you are given reading of the bulbs, no, it means that if they were in connection, if they were, if they were in given a voltage of 220 volts, then that would have been the power. But what the question is saying, that you have now put them totally across 440, totally across 440. This is what the question is saying.
Oh, okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, so what you do is you find out that this, when this was 220 volts and this was 220 volts, you were getting powers of 25 and 100, 25 and 100, when the resistors were R1 and R2. So R1 is 4 times of R2. So let's say this is R. So this is 4R. Okay. Now, when you connected R and 4R together, This is 4R and this is R to a 440 volt supply, right? Now you need to see that what will happen, right? Also, Atul, this is basically the maximum power. This is basically the maximum power of the first bulb. This is the maximum power of the second bulb, right? Now let us see what will be the power which will be generated in the two bulbs in this case. In this case, so let's have the look at it. What will be the voltage distribution, Atul, across the two? Let's say the first one has a voltage of V1, second one has a voltage of V2. What is same across the two, current or voltage in series?
In series, current is same.
Current is same. So voltage is directly proportional to R, right? So we will have V1 is equal to 4R upon 5R, right, into 440, and V2 is equal to R upon 5R into 440, correct? Right, Atul?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So what should be the reasoning? What should be the answer that we are getting? We should get here 44. Here will be, okay. I think, okay, just a minute. I think this was R, right? So this is 440 or 44 into 10 by 5. This is 44 into 10 by 5 into 4. Okay. So this is becoming 2s up, right? This is also 2s up. So you have one is 44 by 44 into 8. The other is 44 into 2. So this is 88 volts, while this one is 352. Okay. Now, so Atul, this is basically also the maximum voltage. This is also the maximum voltage. Like I just told you, know about this concept of I, right? Similarly, if V applied is greater than V maximum, if power produced or power produced by the present scenario, power produced in the present scenario is greater than rated power. This is also called as rated power. The powers which are given, no, as rating in the bulb, they are called as rated power. Just have a look whenever you buy any bulb, no, there is always this rating given, how much watt and how much volt bulb it is. Have you ever marked this, Atul, before?
Yes, sir.
Right, just look at it next
I,
time very carefully. Yeah, so in the present scenario, the current passing is greater than current maximum. So in all the three cases, Atul, in all the three cases, you will see that the bulb will fuse. That the bulb will fuse. Atul, is this point clear?
yes, sir.
So which one do you think should fuse now? See here, the voltage which is developed across first one is 352, whereas voltage which is developed across second one is 88 volts. Maximum is 220, and what is passing is 352 in one and 88 in another. Which one should fuse, Atul? Bulb 1 or 2?
Second bulb.
Have a look again, Atul. First, both the bulbs have a maximum capacity of 220 volts. Maximum capacity of 220 volts, right? But the first bulb has a voltage of 352 volts across it, whereas second bulb has a voltage of 88 volt across it. So which one is exceeding? Then maximum
352.
value 352, right? So which one will fuse then? 352. This one, first bulb, right? This will get fused. Is this point clear, Atul? See here, V applied. What is the V applied for first one? Tell me.
352.
352, right? So that 352 is greater than V max. How much is the V max? 220 volts, right?
80 volts.
Right, Atul?
Yes,
Can we see that clearly?
yes, sir.
Okay, that because in the first case or in the first bulb, the voltage which is being developed across the ends of the resistor is greater than the maximum voltage which can develop across it. That is why the first bulb will get fused. Right, Atul? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Anything that you want to ask, just go through the problem, go through the question once and let me know. Yes, go ahead. Write this down with you. Write the
Sir,
question.
uh,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, can you explain with respect to current, sir?
Yes, go ahead. So what you can do is find out what is the current passing in this case, find out the current passing in this case, right? Then find out what is the current passing in this case. So if you find that this current is you will be this current will be greater than this value but less than this value, something like that. Are you understanding? So
Uh,
let's say the maximum current here is I1, maximum current here is I2. And when you find the current in the final scenario, you will find I is greater than I1, but I is less than I2, right? So because I is greater than I1, therefore the first bulb will get fused.
sir, I is the total current, net current, sir, flowing through the circuit.
Yes. So I is the total current or the net current flowing through the circuit. If that value is greater than the maximum current which can pass for the first resistor, then this first resistor will not be able to take that load and it will get fused. Clear, Atul?
Yes, sir, now clear.
Right? Okay, great. So try this out right after the class. In case any issues, you can let me know, right? Okay, now let's take this up. So we have the next point telling us, okay, now let's take a good question from AIEEE 2004. Atul, this is the question. Yes. Try this out, Atul. What is being asked is the total current supplied by the battery. Let's say this is a battery, and although it's looking like a cell, so you need to find out what is the total current supplied by it from here. Yes. Try this out, Atul. What will you do? Tell me. First of all, did I tell you last time that you need to mark the common points, right? So
Yes, sir.
this entire stream from this point to this point is one and the same. The potential will remain same across this path, right? Because there is no resistor. Correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
This path, right? So if I'm writing A here, it means this point is also A, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us draw this now here. So you'll have point A is connected to point A is connected to 2 ohm resistor, this one, and 6 ohm resistor, right? And both of them are then connected to another point B. So we'll drop this point B over here. So we have two resistors, 2 ohm and 6 ohm, which are connected across A and B. Let's talk about another resistor or another point, let's say C, right? What can we see, Atul? That there is a point called C. There is a point called C. There is a resistor connected between C and B, this one, right? This way, which is 1.5 volts, correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
And then there is a resistor connected between A and C. A and C, this one. What is it? Tell me.
E and C.
See here. I'm bringing my spotlight. This one. This is A, this is C. Which is the resistor?
Same.
3 ohm. So let us draw that this 3 ohm, A and C. All such questions, Atul, all such questions become superbly easy if you are ready to invest a strategy. So what is the strategy, Atul, that we have adopted? Mark the points, and between those points, mark the resistors, right? So sometimes such kind of wires may be given, right? But we know that irrespective of the wire, if there is no resistor in between, then the potential would remain same. So this point and this point are one and the same. Are we clear, Atul? How have we drawn the circuit?
No, sir. Can you explain again, sir?
Okay. See, what have I done? First, mark the point A. Mark the point A, right? Then, from the point A, tell me which are the two resistors. Let's say, or you want me to do it again? Okay, we'll do it. No
Yes.
issue. Okay. Okay, tell me what's the question, Atul? What is the question first of all? What are we asked to do in the question?
Sir, we need to find the net current across
Net
the
current.
circuit.
Right. So what I'm doing is I'm telling you mark the points. Let's say this is point A. Point A is connected to positive terminal of the battery, right, Atul? So this will also be point A. Why? Because potential is same on both points. Correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Agree with this?
Yes,
Okay. Let's mark
yes,
this
sir.
point as B. Let's mark this point as B. The junction of all the three resistors as B. Let's mark the negative potential of the battery as C. Are we clear, Atul, until here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we are marking these points A, B, and C, right? Where is the battery connected, Atul? Between A and C, right? Between A and C, right?
Yes, sir.
Battery is connected between A and C, right? See here.
Yes. Mm. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, where are the different resistors connected? All that we have to do is to arrange the resistors. So, first, this one. This 2 ohm resistor is between A and B, right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
We'll draw that. Nothing much. Just draw it. 2 ohm resistor drawn across A and B. Now, see this one. 6 ohm resistor is also between which two ends? Where are its ends meeting at A and B? Right?
Mm, sir.
So this is 2 ohm first. Then the 6 ohm resistor is also connected across A and B. Clear, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then look at this one. 1.5 volt.
B
What are its ends? Tell me, what are its ends, Atul?
and C.
B and C. That means between B and C, there is
We have
1.5
one.
volt, 1.5 ohm. Sorry, this is ohm.
Yes,
1.5 ohm resistor connected. Right, Atul?
yes, sir.
Okay, tell me what are the ends for this one? 3 ohm resistor. A and C, right? Tell me what are the ends
Yes,
for
sir.
3 ohm resistor?
A and C.
A and C. This is A, this is C. So draw that. Is it clear now, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All that you have to do now is find out first what is R effective. Can we do this, Atul? Now it became easy, right? Finding out R effective becomes easy now,
Yes.
right? So first,
Yes, sir.
first you will take 2 and 6, find out the resultant of them, right? So 2 into 6 upon 6 plus 2, that is 12 by 8, that is 3 by 4, right? So we will have this upper resistance between A and B, the net resistance becomes 0.75 here. Between B and C, the resistance is given as 1.5, right? After this, or wait a minute, have I gone wrong somewhere? 12 by 8, 4, 2 are connected in parallel, right? 2 and 6. So we have 2 6 are 12 by 8, 4 3s are 4 2s are. Okay, pardon me. This is 3 by 2. So we will have this is 3 by 2. This is 1.5. This is also 1.5. Now we have another one in the denominator or in the another branch. The resistor is 3 ohms, right? So you have in the upper circuit, what will be the net resistor, Atul? Net resistance in the upper circuit, in the upper
Uh,
branch, 1.5 plus 1.5. How much should it be?
3 ohm.
3 ohm, right? So this is 3 ohm and this is also 3 ohm, correct? So this will give us a total of, whenever they are in parallel,
Uh,
two equal resistance, it will give
1.
1.5, right, Atul?
Yes.
So
Yes,
this
sir.
1.5 ohm is the effective resistance, this value, right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So we have V is equal to 6 volts and R is equal to 1.5 volts. Now it becomes easy to find out the current. We know that V is equal to IR and therefore I is equal to V by R, that is 6 by 1.5 or 3 by 2, which gives us I is equal to 4 amperes. Right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Clear? How have we approached the question? How have we approached the solution?
Yes, sir.
Have a look at the question and write it down in your own words before we proceed. Yes, Atul, go ahead.
Done, sir. Done.
Okay, right. So, Atul, now with this, we are finishing the concepts of this chapter. There is a concept called as potentiometer. Before I take any question on that, I want you to practice this, whatever we have read today, and read and revise the concept of potentiometer. Once you do, I will take it up, right? Because it requires a self reading before I take it here, right? So, the remaining concept is potentiometer, right? A meter and voltmeter. Have a look at these concepts, right? Wherever there is any doubt, let me know. We'll take it up, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So just go through everything that we have read in this class. Take 1 or 2 minutes. Go through whatever we have read before we proceed to the next chapter. Yes, Atul, go ahead. Revised, Atul? Hello? Yes, Atul, have you revised it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So now we'll move on to the next chapter, right? So this chapter is clear to you, correct? Current electricity, whatever questions that we have read. Is there any doubt, Atul, that you want to ask? Anything, any query? Please let me know.
Uh, no, sir. No, sir. Nothing.
All clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, I just have problem these type of questions where we have resistance connected in different patterns, sir.
Okay, so for that, Atul, for that, there is just one simple concept that you need to put in mind, right? So I'll give that concept here. It's very easy, super easy. So there are two kinds of symmetries which make such questions very easy. I'll tell you. Right. So as I was saying, Atul, that there are two cases possible in such kind of questions. See here, one case is called as mirror symmetry. What is this? We are discussing different resistance patterns and how to solve them. So first is called as mirror symmetry. Mirror symmetry means, let's say you have a point A here and you have a point B here, right? Whatever is the resistance scenarios, let's say here I'll connect some resistors, okay? Okay. Is the diagram clear to you, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Is the diagram clear? Okay. Okay, right. So now the point is, I think something happened, just a minute. Yeah. So now the point is, let's say each one of them has a same resistance R. Okay, each one of them has the same resistance R. I need to find out the effective resistance of the circuit, right? Atul, now look at the circuit and tell me, is the circuit a mirror image about this line? Have a look, right? Whatever is the scheme over here, same is the scheme or the pattern on the other side, right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Whenever such a scenario is there, no, whenever the circuit is symmetric about the central line, then in such a scenario we call it to be mirror symmetry. It is the one part of the circuit is a mirror image of the another. I'll repeat, one part of the circuit is a mirror image of the another. In such cases, Atul, we take the current which is coming from here, same amount of current should go into the other branch also, right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
I1 coming from here should go here, right? Similarly, let's say we have I2 current was going here, same amount of current is supposed to go this side also. That is the concept. So what you do, you remove this one. Why? See this one. You remove this one. Why? Because there is no current going into the lower branch. I will repeat, Atul, what happened. We told that whatever current was in this branch, same current should be present in this branch also, which means that first when the current started coming from here, have a look, the current started going from this until this point. Now current had a choice to go downwards and over here, but by mirror symmetry we are saying that the current present in this branch is equal to the current present here. Since the current in the two branches, this one and this one, are same, it means that when the current was present here, the entire current went into this branch and it did not go into this central branch. Right? Is this point
Yes,
clear,
sir.
Atul? So I will remove this branch from here. I will remove this branch from here. Similarly, when the current started coming from this point, came to this junction, the current had a choice, go here or maybe in both. But since there is a mirror symmetry and the entire current is going from this branch on the left to this branch on the right, no current is entering this branch in the middle. So we can remove that part also. Right? Now it becomes a very simple circuit. See? All that you have to do is just solve this equation now to get the answer. So we have R, 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 central one is also R, and all of these are also R's. Now I think it becomes easy, right, Atul? So what will the above branch look like? This one will be 2R, net resistance, 2R,
Yes, sir.
2R, 2R, correct? Right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
So let's draw this. Let's draw this. This becomes 2R, 2R. Here you have R in the center. Then again here, what is the resistance? 2R. Here also you have 2R. All of them joined together. Right. Atul, tell me one thing. What should be the net of these two R's connected in parallel?
Uh,
R, right?
yes, yes,
Right.
sir.
See, R effective or R dash is equal to 1 by 2R plus 1 by 2R, right? which is equal to 2 by 2R, and therefore R dash is equal to R. Correct, Atul? Right?
Correct, sir.
Okay. Similarly, these two resistors, you can remember this as a fact, Atul. You can remember this as a fact. Whenever two equal resistances are connected in parallel, the net resistance is equal to half of them. The net resistance is equal to half of them, right? So this will also be our, right, equivalent
Yes,
of
sir.
the bottom two resistors. This will simplify the circuit even further, and we will get R, R, and R. Right, Atul? Am I clear, Atul? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What should be the net of these three? Try finding out 1 by R dash is equal to 1
3.
by R plus 1 by R plus 1 by R, which is equal to 3 by R. So what should be the effective resistance? R by 3. Right? Correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you clear with this pattern? How did we go about the entire question? The point was,
Yes,
whenever there is a symmetry about this line, the current coming in from here is the current going out. So there is no current getting distributed in these central branches, right?
yes, sir.
Is it clear, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me take next.
So, how can we decide the line of symmetry, sir? Which is the line of symmetry?
You have to always draw it in the center. This is called mirror symmetry. I'll tell you one more case. There are two cases generally which come in the exam. One is mirror symmetry. The other is, I'll tell you, it's called folding symmetry. I'll just tell you. First, tell me, is this clear?
Yes, sir. This is clear.
This is clear, okay? Now, Atul, we can also solve this question by folding symmetry. Have a look how. And what is folding symmetry? So we'll draw that. So we have, let's say, the same concept. Let's say this is point A, this is point B. Now we are talking about a symmetry called as folding symmetry. What does this folding symmetry look like, Atul? So this line, see this line about which A and B are joined, this particular line. What we do is we try to fold our circuit about this line and see if it is symmetric about it. Tell me, is it symmetric?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if it is symmetric, then those particular points which are overlapping each other. So let's say this point C will be overlapping D, right? Correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
So those particular points are said to have the same potential. They are said to have the same potential, right? That is
Yes, sir.
what the concept is in this case. So this in here, what did we do in case of mirror symmetry, we had considered, in the case of mirror symmetry, we had considered there is same current in the mirror image of that branch. So what was the mirror image of this branch? The mirror image of this one was this particular branch, correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Let's say this is point C. So the mirror image of the branch AC is the branch CB. Am I right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
And they are said to have the same current. They are said to have the same current.
Current.
What happens in folding symmetry is, here we try to match the points which are overlapping, and those points are said to have the same potential. There we had the same current in mirror symmetry, right? Here we have same potential. Are we clear on this, Atul? They have the same potential. Okay.
Mm.
Until here, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After this, have a look. So what we do is, Atul, tell me one thing. Let's say at point A, V naught is the potential, right? And we just told that the potential at point D, let's say this as, let's call this as V dash, is the same as potential at point C, right? So let's say this is C, this is D. Both will be V dash, correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let's see. Okay. So I think I'll add one more branch here to make it look very similar to the question that we have considered earlier. So I'll add one more branch over here. Right? Yeah. And I think in the center, this was not there. Right. So I think now it becomes very similar to the past question. So we'll remove this one from here. Okay. Now I think it looks similar to this question, right? Huh, it does. Okay. Now, Atul, have a look. What about the potential differences in these points? They are similar, right? Here also, if you see, this point will have a potential, suppose V double dash. This point will also have a potential V double dash, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what the point is, all you have to do is you have to fold this and make the resistors half of their values. Make the resistors half of their values. So see how it will look like. Fold this about the central line. Now, instead of drawing the lower part, all I'll do is I'll half these values. So this, if this was R and this was R, right? I will write this as R by 2. Why will I write this as R by 2? Because let's say this point is C and this point is D, and we are saying they're having the same potential. That means both are point C only now. Both are point C only now, right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
So now between point C, rather than connecting one R, there are two R's connected, and two R's connected in parallel should give us R by 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll do that, right? Okay, what next? This remains R, this remains R, or since we had only one resistor here and that was R, so now we have two resistors here, so let us give them the values R by 2 and R by 2. So that the net is R in the center. Now let us go ahead. This will also become R by 2, right? Here, this will also become R by 2. This will also become R by 2. Atul, tell me, is this part forming a Wheatstone bridge, right? R by 2,
Yes,
R
sir.
by 2. So this will not be in function, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's
Sir,
do
how
that.
come the
Yeah, tell me.
so how come the middle row resistors are matlab, resistance are by two?
I am taking that. So see here, what I'm doing it is in the question, in the previous question, here R was given, no? Here R was given, right? And there was only one resistor in the center. So in order to make our present question similar to the question which we had taken last time, instead of drawing two resistors, instead of drawing one resistor as R, I have just splitted this as R by 2 and R by 2. This is what I'm trying to tell. So that we'll have the same condition in this question as in the previous question. Just that the method by which we are solving it is different. Previous question was solved using mirror symmetry. Present question will be solved by folding symmetry. Point clear, Atul?
Yes, sir. Clear.
See, I am trying to tell that this particular graph or this particular circuit is something like this. Same as the previous one. And in the center there is one big resistor. Just compare this figure to the figure that we had seen in the last question, this one. They are the one and the same, right? See this very carefully, this figure. See, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now see this figure. Same, right? Correct?
Yes, sir. Same.
So instead of writing this as R, since I had drawn two resistors here, so I have taken these two as R by 2 and R by 2, so that our current circuit is same as the last one. Am I clear, Atul?
Yes, sir.
I think
And so the
this
rest of the
doubt.
resistance are
Yeah, be clear. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, tell me.
and so the rest of the resistance are R by two. It is given or you took it as R by two?
They were R, but I took them as R by 2. See here. So I think I'll start this from the beginning. No issues. We are seeing the concept called as folding symmetry. We'll see it again. Don't worry. We are seeing the concept called as folding symmetry. Let's draw the circuit once again. The same circuit, okay? Why am I drawing the same circuit? I'm trying to tell you that the first reason is that one question can be solved in different ways. The second reason is so that we can verify the answer. If the circuit is same, that the irrespective of the technique, the answer should also be same, right? So that's the reason. Okay, now just see the two diagrams, Atul, and let me know if they are same or not. Yes, are they?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Each one is R. Each one is R in this circuit. R each.
Yes, sir.
Are we clear now, Atul? Should we start?
Yes.
Okay. This is point A. This is point B. There are only two cases, Atul, which we can take. Either you take mirror symmetry or you take folding symmetry. Here, what case did we took? Mirror symmetry. For mirror symmetry, where did we draw the line? Just in the center, right here. Correct? In the
Yes.
center, just in the center, right? But in case of folding symmetry, we draw the line along this line joining A and B. Whereas here, this line was perpendicular bisector of A and B. Correct? Right, Atul?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Correct? Here, so are you understanding the difference? In case of mirror symmetry, the line was drawn just in the middle of A and B, perpendicular bisector, whereas here this line has been drawn along A and B, along the line joining A and B. Are the 2 points clear to you, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, look, I'll draw this line and say that the circuit can be folded about this line. Correct? Can it be folded, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, since the circuit can be folded about this central line or it overlaps about this line, therefore, we will have at this point, let's say the potential is V. Same will be the potential at this point. Correct, Atul?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay. Let us name this point as C. So this point will also be C. Am I correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Suppose this point is D. So this point will also be D because both have same potential. Right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
The same thing that we did in the previous question over here. Do you remember this technique? Naming the points having same potential as same. Do you remember this, Atul? Do you
Yes,
recall
sir.
this? Right. So the same technique we are putting over here. Okay. So now just have a look. A, C, D, B. Tell me how many resistors are there between A and C? This is 1 and this is 2. Correct? Right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, since there are two resistors between A and C, I'll draw them. Clear? Okay. Tell me how many resistors are there between C and B, Atul? C and B.
Uh, 2.
2. Correct? Let's draw them. Correct? Now, tell me how many resistors are there between C and D?
C and D, 2.
Right? Okay. Okay. Now, tell me, are we left with something? No, right? We have covered all of them. Only I think one remains. That is the one which is there between A and B. This one, right?
Sir,
A
how
and
come
B
you
also.
took,
Yeah. No,
sir, how come you took the resistance between C and D as parallel?
I am not taking C and D as parallel. You only told there are two resistors, A and see what does parallel mean, Atul? Whenever there are 2 points, C and D, right? Whenever there are 2 points, C and D, whether you write it this way or you write it this way, it means the same. I'll repeat, Atul. Whenever we are talking about parallel resistances, whether you talk them or represent them like this or like this, there is no difference. Same thing is happening here. There are points C and D. C and D. two resistors between C and D, right? So I'm just taking the points with same potential, points with same potential as one point. I'll repeat, points with same potential
Yes,
are
sir.
taken as one point. Atul, points with same potential are taken as one point, and then we are drawing the resistors in between those points. So we
Yes,
are
sir.
not saying parallel, it is the connection which is saying that it is parallel. I'll repeat. See, what's happening is the way we did here, the way we did here. Did I ever say that these two resistors are in parallel? No, right? 2 and 6 are in parallel. I did not say. It is the connection points that are saying this, that 2 and 6 are in parallel. Atul, can you see this here? 2 and
Yes,
6 are, whenever two resistors are connected between same points, whenever two resistors are connected between same set of points, then they are said to be parallel, right? When their end points are matching, right, Atul?
yes, sir.
So
Right.
the same thing happened over here also. Here we marked points A, right? And then connected all the resistors which were connected between A, and then we also marked the point B. We tried to connect resistors between A and B first, right? Right? Same
Yes,
scenario
sir.
is going on over here also. So first we mark the points having same potential. What did I say? In folding symmetry, you have to take first mark the points having same potential. Mark the points having same potential as same points. That means if point C and this point have the same potential, then I will mark them as the same alphabet. Are you clear with this, Atul?
Yes, sir.
That is what I have done. I have marked this point over here and this point over here as C because both have same potential, right? Once that is done, I am just connecting the resistors between C and D. Whether you connect it this way or you connect it this way, it's having the same meaning just as in the previous case. Now are we clear, Atul?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Sure? See, ask me if there is
Yes, sir.
anything else that is there in the mind. It's clear, right?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. Now, the connection is saying that they're in parallel, right? Now let's see the resistors connected between A and D. Tell me, Atul, how many resistors are connected between A and D? This is one, right? And this is two.
Two. Yes, sir. Two.
So let's connect them. This is one, or even better, and this is two, right? Okay. What about D and B, Atul? D and B, one, and this is two, right?
And yes, sir. Two.
Okay. So one and two, right? Are we clear, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is one more resistor. See here, Atul, which is directly connecting A and B. Directly connecting A and B. This one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's take that also. Right, Atul? This one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's simplify this. So this is R and this is R. So whenever you have two resistors which are equal, they get connected in parallel. Then the net resistance is half of them. Right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
So between A and C, this will become R by 2. Similarly,
Right.
these two are R's. So the net resistance between C and B along this line will become again R by 2. Right, Atul?
Yes,
Correct?
sir.
Okay. Then let me draw the point D over here. So this resistance between A and D will also become R by 2. Right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Also, the net resistance between D and B, these two will combine and give R by 2. Right? This is
Yes,
also
sir.
R. This is also R. So we'll get R by 2. Right, Atul?
Yes, sir. Right.
Okay. Now, talk to me about the point, this one. this is something like this. This is R, right? Correct, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Now, can we simplify this circuit, Atul? Here, tell me, can we simplify this? R by 2 and R by 2. Okay, what about this one? This one is also R by 2,
Yes, sir.
but it is immaterial. Why? Because by Wheatstone bridge, we can say that R by 2 is to R by 2 is equal to R by 2 is to R by 2, right? Their ratios are
So,
equal. Correct, Atul?
yes, sir.
Therefore, the central branch will become insignificant. CD branch will become insignificant.
Yes,
Correct?
sir.
Okay. So now the circuit behaves something like this. R by 2, R by 2, R by 2, R by 2, and R. Right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what will be the net resistance circuit looking like R, R, and
R, R, R.
right, Atul?
Yes, sir.
Each of the three branches will be R. What should be the net
Uh,
resistance therefore? Tell me. Yes, tell me what should be the effective resistance therefore? See, same as this one, Atul. R, R, and R were giving us R by 3. So here R, R, and R should also give us R by 3. Right, Atul? Are we clear on this, Atul? Thank you, Atul. Let's meet tomorrow where we'll solve the questions from electrostatics and accordingly proceed ahead. I think we have completed today current electricity, right?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Right, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you, Atul. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.